Hi, I'm Susanne Seitinger, Director of AI ML Product Marketing at AWS. I'm excited to have all of you here today, and I want to thank you so much for joining us to learn more about generative AI and the underlying AWS AI infrastructure that fuels so many breakthrough innovations. I recognize that you have a million emails in your inboxes, Instagram feeds to catch up on, and that you could have chosen to be anywhere else in the world, but you've chosen to be right here and attend this event today. Our teams and I really appreciate that you've decided to spend some time with us. So what do AWS Trainium, AWS Inferentia, AWS Graviton, Storage, EKS, Nitro, Ultra Clusters, and Amazon SageMaker have in common? Together, they form much of the underlying infrastructure that allows customers to create AI innovations like better fraud prevention or the generation of 2D and 3D environments and new gene therapies securely. Imagine that future where all employees are relying on generative artificial intelligence, Gen AI, to get their work done faster, a time when every task becomes less mundane and more innovative, and every application provides a more useful, personal, and engaging experience, all done securely and in a resilient way. To realize this future, organizations need more than a single powerful large language model or chat assistant. They need a full range of capabilities to build and scale generative AI applications that are tailored to their business needs and use cases, including apps with built-in generative AI, tools to rapidly experiment and build their own generative AI applications with, and most importantly, a cost-effective and performant infrastructure and the security controls and guardrails to go with it. That's why I'd like to step back today a bit and talk about how these foundations are resilient, cost-effective infrastructure layer, which includes chips purpose-built for AI, as well as Amazon SageMaker to build and run foundation models, among many other key innovations that are enabling hundreds of thousands of customers to go faster with AI. Today, we see AI impact almost every industry, even some that you might not have anticipated. Who would have guessed that the maritime safety industry is benefiting from startups like Windward to glean better insights, or that your latest DoorDash delivery is powered by AWS Gen AI infrastructure? Companies from a wide variety of industries are using AI to deploy new solutions using AWS. Evolutionary Scale is using AI models to generate protein antibody structures they could never have imagined. Slack is using AI throughout their applications where so many of us spend our days. In my own career, I've experienced AI transform industries. I started out in smart cities and urban planning, and I've seen innovations by customers like INRIX. Now, they're an interesting company focused on urban transportation. So imagine yourself stuck in traffic, trying to figure out why you can't get to your destination faster, wondering, is anyone doing something to figure this out? I'm sure you've all been there. INRIX specializes in the practice of managing traffic by analyzing data, not just from road sensors, but also from vehicles. And this has enabled them to use AI and data to generate new insights about how people move around the world. And they use that to help everyday citizens and governments. INRIX uses AI to help analyze large 50 petabyte data sets based upon their data from vehicles and road sensors. And they've launched an entirely new AI-powered product called AI Compass. Building on their data foundation on AWS, this new product helps them to understand the root cause for a specific traffic incident to determine if there's a pattern or a solution behind it. And they are an excellent example of how a customer is using AI within their respective domain to help people and governments make cities even easier to live in and safer places to navigate. It shows, too, how a strong data foundation on AWS helps you get started quickly with generative AI. INRIX shared that they have 50 petabytes of data, and as many of you know, that data needs to be protected. So that's where AWS starts. We start with our priority of security and confidentiality of your workloads, all powered by the AWS Nitro system, which ensures that no operator has access to your workloads, an architecture that we've had independently verified. And we've extended that approach to AI workloads. AWS designed our AWS Nitro enclaves to help customers reduce the attack surface for their most sensitive data processing applications. Enclaves offers customers an isolated, hardened, and highly constrained environment to host security-critical applications. And we've also made sure that Nitro Enclaves includes cryptographic attestation for your software so that you can be sure that only authorized code is running. We've even taken steps to integrate AWS Nitro Enclaves with the AWS Key Management Service so that only your enclaves can access sensitive material. The AWS Nitro system is the underlying platform upon which all of our AWS AI infrastructure is built, meaning that customers like INRIX receive these security benefits across our infrastructure. Now, at the heart of the Gen AI revolution today are foundation models, including large language models. And many of the largest model providers out there are training their models right here on AWS. That includes folks like Anthropic, Mistral AI, the community of supporters and enthusiasts at Hugging Face, as well as different model providers like Stability AI working with other modalities, and research institutions like TII building the Falcon model family. We've seen generative AI create and enhance a way that customers can construct content and ideas that is completely different than we've ever seen. That includes conversations, stories, images, videos, music, and even new software. All of that's powered by foundation models that are trained on petabytes and in some cases exabytes of data. These numbers are so large they defy comprehension. In order to understand that scale that these FMs operate on, let me give you an example. 1 petabyte is the equivalent of taking 4,000 photos per day. Put another way, the movie Avatar needed about 1 petabyte of data to render all of its graphics. A single exabyte can store over 5 billion 4K movies, or that's like storing the entire Library of Congress 3,000 times over. The scale of these models and the data required is simply massive. Now, these large FMs form the foundation of Gen AI in the cloud, and they are built right here on AWS infrastructure. Almost all of this development is happening today in the cloud because customers need the versatility that it offers, and they want the ability to leverage all of the resources. Organizations want the ability to train models across a wide range of infrastructure, which is one of the reasons why we offer the broadest choice of accelerators in the cloud. That includes GPUs from NVIDIA, as well as our own AWS Inferentia and AWS Trainium and AWS Graviton processors. As part of this offering the broadest choice of accelerators, we're innovating with our partners, like the innovations we're building with NVIDIA to build one of the largest AI supercomputers with over 20,000 Grace Blackwell GPUs. This first-of-a-kind supercomputer is built using NVIDIA's latest GB200 NVLink 72, a liquid-cooled rack-scale system that scales to over 20,000 Blackwell GPUs and connects over 10,000 NVIDIA Grace CPUs to the GPUs. This supercomputer is capable of processing a massive 414 exaflops of AI, which is around 370 times more powerful than the current world's fastest supercomputer frontier. It can help us tackle some of the biggest problems out there, from climate prediction to creating digital twins for manufacturing to helping combat food insecurity by helping farmers with crop and soil management. Now let's talk more about choice. 2 families of Amazon EC2 instances that were developed in-house for training and deploying state-of-the-art machine learning models are Trainium and Inferentia. They were developed by our Silicon Design Group, Annapurna Labs, that invents and develops next-generation infrastructure for the cloud, including the AWS Nitro system we talked about earlier and our AWS Graviton processor. Annapurna Labs also built our Elastic Fabric Adapter networking interface that supports inter-node communication for high-performance AI applications, as well as local NVMe instance storage and much more. Now, the chips, Trainium and Inferentia, are called neuron cores, and you can test your models with them on EC2, SageMaker, EKS, and similar services to optimize your price performance, which will also allow you to lower your overall carbon emissions. Now that I've spoken about many of our hardware components of AI infrastructure, none of this goes without the right software tools. The AWS Neuron team ships our core frameworks through the Neuron SDK, and we've seen an extensive partnership with Hugging Face that helps you run pre-compiled models from the Optimum Neuron cache. Now, their custom accelerators are supporting some of the most exciting AI startups in the world like Ninja Tech. So let's dive into what's possible with these incredible innovations. Have you ever thought about how much time you spend daily doing repetitive tasks at work and how much time they might take away from you getting other more important tasks done? One of our customers, Ninja Tech AI, has analyzed that and determined that employees can spend as much as 20 hours a week on those kinds of tasks. So how can we transform that? Ninja Tech is developing next-generation agents that will assist you in the future. They're leveraging Amazon SageMaker to take advantage of those AWS Trainium and Inferentia-based instances for serving and fine-tuning their machine learning models, while also leveraging all the other features for the deployment and operational management of their ML models. And that allowed them to scale securely and cost-effectively when they went to market with their new solutions. They've seen more than 80% cost savings compared to similar alternatives for their platform. Let's take another example. A unique customer, Amazon.com. They just recently helped customers make more informed shopping decisions during Prime Day using their shopping assistant, Rufus. Online shopping can be a little impersonal at times. It's hard to get the same kind of experience you would get from working with knowledgeable sales staff. And customers are feeling like they're on their own, sifting through product details. The challenge for Rufus was trying to recreate that intimate experience you have with an in-store expert in a digital setting. How did we do that? Rufus is trained on Amazon's extensive product catalog, customer reviews, question and answers, and information from across the web to answer customers' questions on all kinds of shopping needs. So start with broad research when you're just getting started, coming up with different ideas, for example, on what to consider when you're buying running shoes, or then comparing running shoes to one another, and then diving even deeper into specific differentiators between shoes. Rufus meaningfully improves, based on Gen AI innovations, how easy it is for customers to find and discover the best products to meet their needs, all integrated into the Amazon shopping experience. Now, deploying any large language model solution and bringing AI to life can be challenging, as we've seen. And doing that at the scale of Amazon on a day like Prime Day is pretty complex. So how is all that possible? It's powered by AWS Inferentia 2 chips, and these chips provided 32 gigabytes of accelerator memory for Rufus to utilize. That enables the kinds of cost-effective, scalable infrastructure that allowed Amazon Rufus to be successful. It reduced costs by 40% and allowed Rufus to achieve 50% better performance per watt than any other evaluated solution while maintaining high throughput and low latency for customers. The innovations I just talked about by Ninja Tech AI or Rufus wouldn't be possible without taking sustainability into account. We need to ensure that we're continuing to find ways to innovate and drive sustainable long-term solutions for our global operations. In 2019, we set a goal to match all of the electricity used across Amazon's global operations, that includes data centers, corporate buildings, grocery stores, and fulfillment centers, with 100% renewable energy by 2030. And I'm delighted to say that we have now met that goal 7 years early. Today, we are matching all of the electricity used across Amazon's global operations with 100% renewable energy. So all the foundational innovations I spoke about are critical to making AI more accessible, and something we've been committed to at AWS from the get-go. Making new technology as price-performant and as accessible as possible is what we believe in. With Gen AI, one of the most critical trends we're focused on is customizing Gen AI for your specific use case or business problem, and fine-tuning is one of the critical techniques our Gen AI stack supports. Amazon Bedrock leverages all the innovations I talked about for building and scaling Gen AI applications with LLMs and other FMs from leading providers like Anthropic, Meta, Mistral, and Amazon. We recently added some of the most powerful models in the world, Anthropic's Claude 3.5 Sonnet. And even more importantly, Bedrock makes it easy to customize applications with your data through retrieval augmented generation, RAG, or fine-tuning models. Amazon Bedrock is, for example, the only managed service that provides you with the ability to fine-tune the latest Claude models. And it is one of the most affordable and fastest model options out there on the market for its intelligence category. So by providing your own fine-tuned model and data set, you can actually bring these things together through Claude 3 Haiku to boost model accuracy, quality, and consistency to further tailor your generative AI applications. Thank you for joining me here today. I hope the demos, customer and Amazon stories, and partnerships inspired you. You can get started easily with Amazon SageMaker, Amazon Bedrock, or Amazon Q to build your own Gen AI innovations. And if you're just getting started, check out PartyRock as well. I'm excited to see what more we can do together, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the innovations that you will develop and deploy using AWS AI infrastructure.